guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Marta and I'm so happy to have you here. Today is all about the new Anastasia Beverly Hills and Amrezy eyeshadow palette, which is not available yet, but it will be on the 14th, and I'm here to show you how it works so you can decide whether or not you want to buy it. Before we get started, if you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button so you can be a part of this little family. I upload videos in English and in Spanish every week, and turn on the bell notification so you won't miss any of my videos. Now, I always like to show you the swatches first. Well, first of all, the eyeshadow palette is $49 and the PR package came with a mirror, which is so cute, and I don't know if they're gonna sell that too, but if they do, I will totally have it in the description box below. And for Anastasia palettes, they normally have only 14 eyeshadows, and this one has a total of 16 shadows, 7 mattes, 7 shimmers, and 2 pressed glitters, which I was very excited about because it's something new for our ABH. The only ones that weren't that pigmented were the last 4 matte shades, but sometimes the swatches might look a bit funky but apply so good on the eyes, which is what matters. And as you can see, I did 2 different looks because I wanted to use as many shadows as I could. So if you want to see how the eyeshadows apply and what I think about this palette, then just keep on watching. So the first eyeshadow I'm going to apply is this one right here, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce because I know I'm not going to say it right, but New Yorker, and it's very, very similar to the one right next to it, which is OG. I mean, it's a bit different, but so similar. And I know for sure these two will be used mostly for like as a transition shade, so that's what I'm going to use it for. I'm going to be using the brush that comes in with this palette. And by the way, I did apply the Anastasia primer all over my eyelid. So I'm just applying this how I normally do, tapping motions, and then I blend it out. And this is very blendable and buildable. And I wanted to use the ABH primer because I wanted to get the full pigmentation and the true colors of the shades. And this one's actually blending out so good. I did apply it 3 times to kind of deepen up the shade a little more. Next, I'm going to apply You Go. I'm going to use a smaller brush to apply it on my crease, just a little bit lower than the first eyeshadow. I just want to apply this first on the crease. I do it in tapping motions. And you can see this one's also very pigmented and it's a dark shadow. So it is kind of taking me a bit longer to blend it out, but it's also buildable. And it's so rich. It's not powdery, chalky. I don't have any fallout. And it's so different from the swatch, because from the swatch, it's one of them that didn't look that pigmented. But on the eyes, oh my god, it's so rich in pigmentation. Now I'm just applying the same Anastasia primer on my eyelid. The first shimmery eyeshadow I'm going to apply is Barb, which is so gorgeous, and this is like the first one that caught my attention because it kind of looks wet. It looks very glossy and also very pigmented, especially on top of the primer. So I'm just going to apply this on the inner part of my eyelid using this little sponge, and I didn't even have to wet the eyeshadow for it to stand out. The second eyeshadow is going to be Resi, but this one also looks very pigmented, and I'm going to apply it on the center of the eyelid. And this is like the perfect Barbie shade, which is what the whole vibe of this palette is. Then I'm going to go back with You Go, which is a dark brown eyeshadow, and I'm just going to apply a little bit more on the outer corner of my eyelid. And last but not least, I'm going to grab this eyeshadow right here, which I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I know it's not just Semza, and I believe that's Amrezy's mom's name, but it's a beautiful shade, and I'm going to apply that on my lower lash line, and it's also very pigmented. No fallout, not powdery or patchy, which is another shade that didn't look so pigmented when I swatched it, but it also applies so good. And the eyelashes that I'm going to apply are also from Anastasia in the style So Hollywood, which are so gorgeous, a bit dramatic, but if you watch my videos, you know I love dramatic eyelashes. And this is the first look completed, and I love it so much. Let me know in the comments below from 1 to 10 how much you like this look and how much you liked how the eyeshadows applied. Moving on to the second look, I'm going to use the other brown shade, the OG. You can tell right away that it's very similar to New Yorker. Applying it with the same fluffy brush from Anastasia. Again, I'm going to use this as a transition shade on my crease. You can see that it picked up a bit more product than New Yorker, but still no fallout, which is great. I did have to take the excess powder off because I didn't want to start with a lot, but it's also blendable and buildable. And then the camera battery died, so I decided to apply my foundation and concealer and all of that while it charges. Moving on to the next eyeshadow, which is the black one, BK, which I always get a bit worried when I'm going to apply a black eyeshadow because you never know how it's going to be. It might not blend out so good, and it's a very dark eyeshadow. And I'm going to apply this on my outer corners, and you can see right away that it's very pigmented. I didn't even have to grab more of the eyeshadow to apply it on my inner corner. I only used 1 coat for this, and normally for black eyeshadows I have to do 2 or 3 coats so it can be very black, but this eyeshadow is black and pigmented, which was a bit hard to blend out, but it did blend out. And as I'm blending it out, I'm only focused on the corners and a little bit on my crease because I will be applying concealer on my eyelid, so it doesn't really matter how it looks right there. Then I'm going to apply the primer on my eyelid, and I am using the Anastasia primer again. Next will be Leo, which is a gorgeous, beautiful blue shimmery eyeshadow, which when I asked you guys on Instagram what colors you want me to use from this palette, a lot of you said you wanted to see how that eyeshadow works, which I was happy about because I wanted that one to be one of the first eyeshadows I applied. I did get just a little bit of a fallout, but it's no big deal. It wasn't that much. And the way it applies on the eyelid, it's so gorgeous. It's like intense. It's very pigmented and rich in color. It's like very blue, exactly how it looks on the palette. And for the lower lash line, I'm going to apply the brown eyeshadow 1988 using a smaller brush. This one's also very rich, but it's so smooth and blendable. And last but not least is this shimmery eyeshadow called Anastasia for the inner corner highlight. I love me some inner corner highlight, and this shade is so adorable. It's like a peachy shade that would look so good with any color you have on the eyelid. And I just applied the same eyelashes as the other eye, So Hollywood from Anastasia. And this is the completed look. Let me know what you think, and also which one did you guys like better, the right one or the left? Pink or blue? Honestly, I'm really loving this one right here because how it goes out like this and just the colors. I love it. I know I didn't use the pressed glitters, and I did say that I was very excited about those, but I am excited, and I will be using them soon because I'll be doing more tutorials with this eyeshadow palette. I honestly wasn't that surprised that the formula from this eyeshadow palette It was so good because Anastasia formula, like their formulas are always the same pretty much. They all work so good. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this eyeshadow palette a 10. I highly recommend it, and we'll have the link to the palette once it's already available in the description box below in case you guys are interested. And like I said, I'll have more looks using this palette, so please subscribe to my channel so you won't miss my videos, and let me know in the comments below if you are new. Thank you guys so much for your love and your support. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!